Alright, welcome back. What was I doing last time? I was making my way through the Halleck tree, and then I realized that there's supposed to be an NPC here that is not. And so I was going to quickly check a few places. I'm not sure where I lost the thread here. There's a woman in Kaled. It started when we talked to this guy. We went up to this church and gave the woman a needle. She should have moved on. I don't know where she would have moved on to, so I was going to actually Google it. Okay, so she's gone. This is where she was. So she's no longer at the church. What's the easiest way to get... So I don't see Gowrie either. So my thought is that that section of the quest has moved on as well. But let me just double check, because Gowrie technically was on the map a second ago. We want to go east. So I figured I would just quickly try and hit up last known locations, so to speak. And see how it goes. I think I am doing this a little wrong. Yeah, there's a bird that you gotta get around, or a dog, or I don't know what you want to call it. Oh, okay, here. So I didn't really progress her questline very far.
Oh, hello again. Something about this place felt familiar to me, so I decided to pay a visit. Hoping to find someone here, but I've only found emptiness. Perhaps, before my departure, I needed someone to say farewell to.
So let's just
Well,
make sure we exhaust.
never mind that. I must focus on my journey, for which I have you to thank. I must stay strong. Well, never mind that. I must focus on my journey.
Okay, I feel like
For
we've
which I have
done
you
it.
to thank. I must stay strong.
So after there, let's see. I think one place that she then goes to is nope, Altus Plateau, way up here. There was that village where we fought like a Godskin duo kind of guy. She can end up there. I don't know if this is the right one, or... I don't think this is the right one. And also, and then I think I'm also realizing, yeah, no, this is the one, I think. I also never got the, there was like that ruined castle in like a poison swamp. I never got the thing, one of the main things you're supposed to get there, which is the prosthetic arm. I think it's called the Valkyrie's prosthesis or something. I'm not sure on the name exactly. Okay, so she's still showing up there. So let's, where's that swamp castle? I think it's way up. I felt like it was way up here, yeah. So I think there was a path here to this building, and I was like, that looks hard right now. Let me keep going the other way. And I don't know if I ever went back. It was sort of like one of the Millicent, Melania-looking guards, but I don't know how to get there. But yeah, let's just double check. I think it was around... there. I don't think I went in there. So the question is, how do I get... I don't know how important any of this is to doing Melania's quest, but since I'm going to try and do Melania's quest, I figured I might as well try. Of course, I don't remember how the hell you get over there. Because I can't get on my horse here, right? No. Man, so what's been going on? Since I talk a lot about technical stuff, you know, I was talking about how I was losing sessions of my Demon Souls playthrough for Black Lodge Trivia Night. So I checked out the Elgato internal Pro 60 MK2. I don't know what the exact name of it is, but I threw that in my machine for about 20 minutes. It was interesting. I will say getting it set up, it gave you more features, like in the weeds a little bit, than the Aver Media, but it was stuff that I felt made everything worse. I don't know if that makes sense. It was stuff that I don't know if like hardcore users could take advantage of it, but for me, it just created more error points. Points of failure, I guess, would be a better descriptor. And nope. That actually, is that going to kill me? No. Okay. So I had a lot of trouble getting my, just getting a signal registering from the PlayStation 5 that I never had with the Aver Media. Oh, I don't have my usual loadout. Let's... Also, apologies, you might hear some lawn mowing kind of stuff going on in the background. I'm gonna, since I'm not messing with certain spells, let me drop this back to there. Yeah, so then I got the signal and did a couple of test recordings and found that the Elgato software at least restricts your bit rate to 100 megabits per second, which, I mean, let's be honest, is probably fine. But I thought that was interesting. Now, with the Aver Media, I actually, they have this utility built in where they let you sort of benchmark your system, which is kind of nice. And what it tells me is that my system, for as quote-unquote higher end as it might be, it actually doesn't have the bandwidth to like capture at the top, color spaces and, resolutions and frame rates and whatever you want to call it. Because I believe, your graphics card takes up a bunch of like PCI lanes, right? And then what I have going with that is a bunch of M2 and NVMe drives. I think that's the abbreviation. And those things take up a bunch of PCI slots, so that I almost fell for that twice. So by the time you get to, the actual PCI slot to plug in the Aver Media card, the bandwidth is kind of spent. So I can do like 1440 at 60. I can do obviously 1080p at 60, which, I mean, these are all fine for, there we go. All this is fine. This all covers the needs of, putting stuff up on YouTube for the most part. But yeah, it was actually kind of an interesting thing. Like, oh, I've got this PC, and then you run the benchmark and it's like, that's ass. And you're like, wait, what? Okay, so we did that. She's still listed as at the shack. She is, and that's interesting. So, you know, it's just kind of like, all right. But at least it works. Because what happened next with the Elgato, I got a picture up and running. And I'm like, let's do some tests, because, you know, one, you should do tests, but two, after getting burned, I was like, I need to do tests. And so I started doing some test recordings, and the audio was ass. It was absolutely choppy, like tons of like noise. It was terrible. And so, you know, you start Googling, because, you know, I've said, like, I don't mind Googling stuff. How interesting.
Welcome, welcome. How may I help?
Yeah, why not, right? Can't hurt.
Oh, you noticed, did you? Indeed, Millicent did visit this hovel of a home. It seems the memories eaten away by the rotting sickness yet remain, but faintly. However, she has no need of me anymore. No, she must embark on her journey and stare her fate in the eye. I mustn't impede. As I've aged, I've found the best way to aid the young is to be forgotten.
That's an interesting philosophy.
Do you need me for something else?
I'm gonna. Isn't there some country? So part of me says I wanted to say it was Japan, where like the elderly would go to a mountain and just sort of wander off into a mountain and go away. Air quotes, meaning they, you know, sort of let themselves die. But I feel terrible because I don't know A, if that's true, and B, where it is. But I thought that was something somewhere. And so when he said that, that's why I said, oh, that's interesting, because I felt like there was actually a real life parallel. Anyway, so the audio on the Elgato was awful, just awful. And so I started going through, again, Googling, okay, how do you fix this? And you find certain answers here and there and everywhere, what to do. And a lot of them didn't apply to the card I had. They were to like a lower 1080p card that had different options. And so I was just like, okay. So once I got to that point, I was like, you know what? Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this experience might actually be worse. So that's... I wasn't expecting that. I've had really good... I gotta be honest with you, I've had really good luck with Elgato products. I've got like cam links. I've used Stream Decks and the new ones with the dials on it as like an audio interface as well. Really good experience. I've got Elgato key lights, but this did not. And then so, you know, I pulled the card out, and what I thought was really interesting was that the card got really hot. Like really hot. I'm trying to see where Millicent might be next. I think Millicent, based on what I'm looking up, she can, if she's not there, she moves somewhere around here. So let me take a look here. So I thought that was interesting. I mean, I thought the video looked fine. And if I could figure out how to do it, if I could have figured out the issues, I'm sure it would have been fine, but it was just interesting that it went so... Oh, there she is. It went so poorly.
Ah, we meet again. In truth, it's been smooth sailing for me. The scarlet rot has stilled. since last we met. As such, I've been able to continue my journey. Though rather vexingly, I realized that if I still had my sword arm, I could have aided you in battle.
Well, just so happens.
Are you giving me this arm? Thank you. I am in your debt yet again, I think. If the arm serves well enough, it might be possible for me to wield a sword again.
Honestly, Millicent, you're doing me a favor. Right now I'm the creepy guy carrying an arm around the Forgotten Lands, so why don't you take it and ease this stigma?
If the arm serves, it might be possible.
Okay,
Perhaps.
cool. All right, so we've done that now. Now I think, I don't know what you need to do to, I think now she ends up here. There's probably so much stuff that I missed. Yep, there she is.
Ah, we meet yet again. The arm you gave me
Looking good.
is a thing of wonder. It feels just like my own. Even handling a sword. Perhaps it is foolish to say this to you of all people, but I am sure of my skill with the sword. Thus, I would have you call upon me in battle, should you ever have the need.
All right, so I think that covers those basics. I killed her as an NPC invader, which I don't quite know why that happens. So then once we do all of this, now well, can we summoned? So so now my question is, did we do it? There's someplace in the map of the giants she goes. Let's see. But I think we're getting close. Actually, there's places there. Like we missed some things in that area. I know, like I never got to the jellyfish. One of the just I feel I'm bad with I'm really bad with names. So give me 1 sec, 'cause I want to make sure I get this part right. It was one of the users was mentioning, hey, you still miss that, and I just want to make sure. I feel bad. It's like Jake. This is so bad. I apologize. I'm really bad at this stuff. It was Jake. Nope, that's the wrong one. I apologize. He's been kind enough to comment on a number of videos. Jake Lee 8789. So yeah, he was mentioning, like, hey, the jellyfish thing is here, and I appreciate, because yeah, I totally blanked on some things that I was working toward. So yeah, so now Millicent ends up going to the. I think it's around here. Is that even no? Somewhere around here, I think. Is that? Maybe I could sort of circle the horn while I'm here and at least do the jelly. Oh, there she is. Hey, how you doing?
To think we'd meet in such a place. What could your purpose possibly? No. I know well enough who you are. And what I know is good enough for me. Call upon me again in battle, should you have the need. I'm searching for a fort to the north of the ruins. I heard the master of the fort was given a medallion that allowed him to visit the Halig tree. Indeed, I believe that is where Melania will be found. The Halig tree is hidden somewhere in these northern lands.
So that's interesting. So, yeah, I mean, again, like these games, as I've said a million times, they really do explain more than they get credit for sometimes. So she's explaining to you, hey, you know, there's the two halves of a hidden medallion. One person gave you dialogue that said it's in like a hidden village, which was, you know, it was the one underneath this, the village of the Albinarix, the one underneath the cliffs. And she's like, you know, hey, the other half that can help me get to the Halik tree is in a fort to the north, which of course is, you know, where we fought Commander Neil. So it's not like they don't tell you, like, oh my God, how would you ever figure it out? It's like they do sort of explain it, and I appreciate that. Let's see if we've done what we need to do. So she's on her quest to get home, so to speak. There she is. Okay, we did that.
Again we meet. I can only surmise our purposes are aligned. In which case, allow me to explain myself. I am of Millennia's blood, but in what capacity I know not. I could be sister, daughter, or an offshoot. Whatever the case, though, I am certain of a kinship between us. There is something I must return to Millennia. The will that was once her own. The dignity. The sense of self that allowed her to resist the call of the Scarlet Rot. The pride she abandoned to meet Radahn's measure. There is something I
Okay.
will that is one of the dignity.
Okay, so yeah, it's interesting. I don't exactly know how that plays out mechanically, because you know, eventually you just go and you beat the crap out of Millennia. So I don't know. You know, I don't know what that actually means. Like, I know there's like, you know, a little fight you do before Millennia involving sisters, but I don't think you can. And this might be where I'm wrong. I don't believe you can summon her for the Millennia fight, but that might not be. I don't know why she would help you fight Millennia. Let's get the jellyfish going. I see people using. It tends to be like a. Do I have it? Like it's a mage build where they use a jellyfish shield. 100 physical. Okay, it's not as good at anything compared to the... Well, I don't know if that's because I've pumped up the brass shield to near max, but... It's heavier than the brass shield. It's only better at lightning. Does it do anything else? Okay, it gives you a boost to attacking, but... It says it's extremely light, but again, the brass shield is even lighter, I believe, so... I remember earlier, and I was like, man, I wish I could get a brass shield. Now I'm like sitting on 7 of them. But you know, that's part of the cool thing about these games. I don't know if this is the right... Can I hook around? Basically, I want to get up. It's this one, because then you hook around here, and then you can start getting to the different... Okay. Anyway, so, you know, long story, even longer, the Elgato. I ended up sending it back. And now we're back with Avra Media. I did another... I'm going to just stop using RE Central. I did another Black Lodge Trivia Night, Demon Souls session after losing basically all of World 4. I decided to jump back into World 1-3, and that one went off better. The one thing I got to figure out, though, and I don't know if this is an OBS thing, I'm suspicious that it's more of an audio interface something or other. Nope, I don't want to go there. I get a little bit of game audio bleed into my microphone channel. So my microphone channel isn't 100%. Oh, could have been using this one the whole time. Isn't 100% clean. It's very faint, but I gotta figure that out. And in OBS, it seems like the settings are, you know, this on this channel, that on that channel. So I feel like I think I've got that dialed in because it's not that complicated. So I guess I can go across this. I think I've killed this Erd tree already, so that won't be too big a deal. So I'm looking at those balloons over there. And in the past, if you could pop a balloon, you'd get like a pretty decent Souls rune. Let me see if I can... I'm going to guess that I don't have the range. I don't think you have to do a lot of damage. I think you just got to pop it. Okay, won't worry about that. So if I can figure that out, I should be set. And I think it's because of the... I gotta figure out the audio interface, because sometimes I get... If I press the wrong buttons when I'm doing other stuff, like on Discord or something, people are like, yo, I'm getting echo. I'm like, okay. So that's what I fear it is it's some kind of echo. Well, fear, you know, it's not like... Anyway, so yeah, if I can work that out, then at least that'll be squared away. One thing I did do that is also not important is, I think in one of the sessions I was talking about, like, what's it better? Do you do like a higher resolution, but maybe not a file format that's as good? So I was doing like, is it better to do 1440p recording at like an MPEG-4, or is it better to do a 1080p at like a broadcast quality file? And my conclusion, well, my guess was that it probably didn't matter at all in any way whatsoever once you compress it and put it on YouTube. But what did matter is... Oh, very nice. What did matter was being able to process files a lot quicker. When I do it with the DNX HD, I can spit out a file in 5-6 minutes. When I start doing everything in MPEG-4s, H.265s, AV1s, whatever, it ends up taking a little bit longer. So... And by a little bit longer, it could like 20 minutes or so. So I ended up switching back to 1080p DNX HD because I figure that stuff doesn't matter. But if it saves me 15 minutes, why not? So, I think that ends this week's technical discussion. But I will say, it's been, for as frustrating as it can be, and there are times, again, when you lose basically everything you've done in World 4 of Demon Souls, because 2 streams go down. You know, you're not going like, man, I love this feeling. You know. But it is interesting to sort of learn. Like, you know, the Elgato card lets you...
Where did you go?
Do I summon it here or do I summon it near the jellyfish? There's jellyfish in the other room.
Promise me when we turn 14, we go to see the stars. I've been waiting ever so long. Forever and ever it seems. Dear sister, you're finally here. No time to waste. Let's see the stars.
Get the fancy spin. I love that little touch. I love that. I mean, it's not that you can't keep... I think you can still summon the jellyfish. It's not like it's... although I would have found it very interesting if it was gone from your inventory forever. But Elden Ring is a... like, if this were Demon Souls, I could see Demon Souls doing that. Dark Souls. What does that one do? I think it's... is that a medallion or is that a thing for like when you craft weapons? I think it's... there we go. Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually a chunk of your HP gun. I guess if you're a glass cannon, you're not, you know, getting hit is going to sting no matter what, so maybe that's not a big deal. I don't even know if there's anything else out here to worry about, but I figure I'll take a quick look. Now you notice that I haven't actually looked around to see if there's a thing right behind me as I fixate on this one creature. Oh, nope. I'm hoping that getting him... Oops, didn't work. Getting him into the doorway would get him low so I could hit him with that. If you're wondering my exact thinking in that moment. I do, like... I said that's part of the fun. You know, I'm not... Most of the time, it might look like I'm just mashing buttons, and that's probably true, but there are little things that I'm thinking about, like, oh, I wonder if... And this is something I've enjoyed ever going all the way back to Demon Souls. And Demon Souls, it was the first time I ever experienced this in a game, and I probably talked about this to some degree when I said, like, oh, you know, you swing your sword and it bounces off the wall. It's more than just that, though. It's... that degree of realism makes, like when I play like a game like Icewind Dale, the basically the only thing I think about there is, let's kite all the enemies through a choke point and then have like a million area of effect spells like web and things that they're entangling vines or whatever, like a bunch of spells that do damage, lock people in place, grease, slow them down. And that's the main thing I think about here. It's like, like if I bring these guys in through a doorway, does that get them low enough that my lower striking alternate attack, like it's a little bits of nuance and detail that are really sort of fun to think about. I think there's a cave somewhere around here that I've missed. I don't think it's up here, but let me just double check. But there's something up there, I believe. I think there's some kind of... And of course, I never did the magma worm or whatever on the consecrated snowfield side. I don't know what you get for that. Maybe, well... At some point, what am I doing for souls? Okay. At some point, what I also should do, might be tedious, but maybe, hopefully I'm over leveled enough so it wouldn't be so bad. But there's a place somewhere in the capital where there's like 3, like sandworms or whatever they're called. And each one gives you a golden seed, which is great. And I think there's some, I don't know if there's like an ancient dragon somber stone there, but there's some crafting materials that I think are absolutely worth getting. There's a lot of jellyfish here. I thought there was a, is it just cliffs along this edge? I thought there was a cave somewhere on these lakes. Of course, if you remember, this is where we fought that dragon, but now that the dragon's gone, there's no frost, so... Yeah, I guess that's all cliff. Descending cliff, so it wouldn't be there. Yeah, that might be something I have to Google at some point, because I thought there was... Did I never do this? I think I definitely hit up this church. Because I think, yeah, okay. Because there's the... I thought I did that Everjail, but I don't know why I didn't mark it. Well, I mean, I can guess why, because I'm elderly and I forget. But... yeah, so let me just... let me mark this. Marker... done. Yeah, let's head to the capital real quick. Oh, there's something else. I remembered... if you remember, there's like the... I think underground roadside is how you get to the worms here. There was the... can't remember there's sort of the round table hold in the capital, and I could never remember how to get to the second floor. How to get to the second floor is stupid. There's an open window around the corner. This is the wrong one, so it's so dumb. Like if I had gone around the corner, there would have been a roof you can jump on, and I can't even remember where I saw that, and I don't know what the best... I don't know what the best one is to get there. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, of course. This isn't the best one to get there, but I don't know which one is. Maybe I'm not going to waste too much time on this. Because I don't think this is it either. So let's see if we can find... It's not underground roadside. Avenue balcony. Yeah, let's see if we can get down there and see what these worms are like. If you can take them one at a time, it's not so bad. Hopefully, I don't know if you can summon an Ash. If we can summon Tish, it might go a lot better. But we'll have to see. Thought it was right over here. Can I just jump? No, I don't want to just jump them. But that's where I'm trying to get to. Given... Oh, because we're being in combat. I feel like this isn't the best way to get down here, but I guess it worked. I'm nervous who's behind me. Let me just deal with this. Okay, so things we need to do. We don't need backstab. We do need lightning protection. I believe. So for this one... skills or more protection, guarding. Or doing more damage with spells and skills. Let's do that. Oh, but it's charged. I don't know. Can you charge skills? I have no idea. 8,000 souls. So it's not the end of the world if we die, but there's, I think, 3 here. Looks like you can't summon. Now, what makes this tough, aside from these things flailing around like crazy, is you don't want to wander around too much because... No, it's not going to let me get up there. You don't want to trigger the other worms. I think. Nope, this is going to be bad. The question is, can I heal in time? Got lucky. Actually, I don't know if it's luck. The way he flails, like he half misses. Okay. There's one. How many golden seeds do I... Well, I don't need to worry about that now. Wait, do I have the wrong... I thought there were... This might not be the right... There's another place in the capital where you encounter... Because I'm not seeing like the hills and stuff I'm expecting to see where the items are. How'd you get up there? Can I get on my horse in the capital? No. Oh, interesting. I don't know if it's worth it, but let's take a look. Pulley bow, +8, 166, 51, 2, okay. Okay. I can see, I think a black bow might be part of bow builds just because they go, they fire quickly. Okay, so there was a worm there, but that's not the worm I was expecting. It's not letting me pop to my map because I'm in mortal danger, I guess. I think the... just give me my stupid map. I think the rest of the stuff is on the higher parts of the city, if it'll let me get there. There we go. Not the depths. Not quite that high. I feel like that's where we come in. I thought there was a like east rampart, west rampart. This is the one I was looking for to get to the... well, I think to get to everything. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. So, yeah, the roof to get into the second floor is somewhere around here. If I can just figure out how to get on it. Can't tell if... yeah, let me deal with this. Yeah, I can't believe... did I just not see this? Did I don't know, but that's it. That's how you get to the rest of the round table hold in the real world. And it's important because here's where the blacksmith is. You know, its real world counterpart. You know, it's kind of interesting that it like drops. It makes you wonder, like, you know, how do they exist in the round table hold? Like, how does that connect to reality? Because here, the invader that we kill, its dead body is here. And the people that are here are dead. So is it, you know, somehow out of time, and what are those implications again? I would turn to Bonfireside Chat for their deep dives over at duckfeed.tv, I think is the website. Because what I like about their discussions is it's twofold. One, this is a little different. And interesting. This is where that guy in red is, and he's like groaning. We haven't actually dealt with. He's somewhere in the sewers, but here he's tortured someone. For info, I guess. What I like about their discussions is they're very thorough. Obviously, you know, there's probably no more thorough of a discussion of a Souls game than their stuff. But beyond that, it feels very much like a one-stop shop in a way. Because they're so thorough, they'll mention, oh, you know, like this person thinks that. They'll bring guests on that have thoughts to talk about stuff. And, yeah, so you feel like while you are getting their perspective, you're getting a lot more than just their perspective, if that makes sense, because they're so thorough. They'll bring up other ideas and theories and stuff. And then, you know, they'll go into them a little bit like, oh yeah, I could see that. No, I can't see that. But at least it's presented, so you're not, at least I always felt like, okay, that means I'm not really missing. I guess I could have gotten there from... Now the question is, how do we get... No, I still can't get on my horse. How do I get to the sandworm area? Because I thought it was up here. I mean, it's not literally up here. But I thought we were in the general neck of the woods. Is it over this wall? No, because I think this is just taking us up towards the end. The only reason why I feel like I'm in the right vicinity is because we've got like these areas of sand or ash or whatever it is. I would guess it's ash, not sand. And I don't think it's on the other side of this where those machines were. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll look that up at some point. Because I would like to get those golden seeds. And like I said, there is something... Can I get my map? No, because I'm in combat. I was going to say, I was going to run over to the Round Table Hold really quickly now that we have like another 9 Somber Dragonstone or whatever. No, you gotta be kidding me. I'm fine, Mom. Let me look at my map. I'm also kind of curious what that whetstone does. Got some stuff coming up. I'm going to see how I can do this, but I don't play this every day. I try and make it so that if you want, like, something pops up every day, but
I see. Yep.
I think I need to get some in the bank. I had some in the bank, but I need to get some more in the bank so I can, have some family coming into town, stuff like that I need to... If I can just have some in the bank, then at least it stays consistent. I don't know if this is true. I heard somewhere that, like... I'm going to blow all my money. There's some value in consistency. I don't know if that's... I think somebody was talking about, like, podcasting. And they're like, yeah, you want to have a consistent podcast schedule. No, I'm not spending one of my precious stones on a shield. I don't think it's worth it. But let's see what else. I think that coated sword that I just picked up is supposed to be a good faith weapon. This one's worth it. Yeah, that's worth spending. I don't know where it is, though. I think it's sort of a, if I'm remembering correctly, and I'm probably not, it's sort of a mix of like a whip and a sword or something. Yeah, I have no idea. I thought it was like a one-handed sword, so I thought it would be... Maybe it's like down with the katanas or something. It definitely has like this interesting look. But whatever. That was part of why I was going to try and wield it, because it's sort of an interesting looking sword as well. But I'm not seeing it. And... or is it this one that's sort of interesting looking? Might be this one, because it's like made of words or something. Anyway. Why don't we, let's see, why don't we call it here? I know I didn't get a ton done. I managed to clear up Millicent a little bit. But, yeah, let's call this. I'll start getting some more of these in the bank. And hopefully that way I don't have to interrupt too much in the future. But thanks again. Hopefully there was something here. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye.